Welcome back to my channel. This is your full moon in Taurus reading for my air signs. We have a full moon coming up on Friday, November 15th. It should peak around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is in the sign of Taurus, which is a sign of comfort and stability. And this moon is really inviting us to get comfortable with who we are. It's reminding us to ground into our foundations. And it's asking you to recognize how strong you are and let go of anything that makes you doubt the strength that you have. Okay, air signs, we are going to look at three main things: the overall theme of this moon, what might come up, and what actions should you take. And while I'm shuffling, I have to let you know, in full disclosure, this is the second time that I'm recording this video. I recorded all of my videos yesterday, only to find out that there was no audio. I had forgotten to turn on my microphone. So I feel like the universe wants me to remind you that Mercury will be going retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius come November 26th. Mercury is a planet that pretty much rules communication, affects travel, affects electronics. Because Mercury will be going retrograde in Sagittarius, this one is definitely going to be a little bit spicy, so you might want to double check all your communications, allow yourself extra time for travel, and take your time when dealing with electronics. Okay, first up, air signs, we have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. And your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. Well, we definitely are in the full moon in Taurus. So I think that this moon is asking you to give your dreams a solid and stable foundation. Allow yourself to have faith in what it is that you want, and get comfortable with the idea that it is going to happen. Once we decide that we want something, the universe will conspire in our favors to bring it to us. So maybe use the energy of this moon to really hone in on what dreams you want to focus on, and allow yourself to draft a bit of a plan for how you might attain those dreams. I think that you're being asked to remind yourself that you're good enough, especially when it comes to looking at these dreams and honing in. I think sometimes air signs, we have we often can question ourselves. You might do that while you're looking at these dreams, but just know this moon wants you to know you're worth it. You deserve it. And I think that that's where the show the world the real you comes in. Part of your dreams is being comfortable enough, stable enough, confident enough to live as authentically as possible. This moon is asking you to let that be your foundation. Decide that your authenticity is your foundation. You will draw strength from that decision. Once you allow your authentic self to be the foundation of who you are and everything you do, you will command so much strength because you're living in your truth. Air signs, you're being asked to work with the energy of this moon to come out of your shell, to allow your authenticity to be your beacon of light. Whatever it is that you have to do to get comfortable with that idea, that's what you're being asked to look at as the overall theme of this full moon. Okay, let's move on to what might come up, and a whole bunch of cards just flew out. Normally, while I shuffle, I ask you to like or subscribe to my video while I'm shuffling. Um, I'm still going to ask. I just don't need to shuffle. I also want to remind you that if you're interested in booking a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box below. So first up, we have the Five of Wands: conflict and ego, competition and rivals, aggression and tension. Right off the bat, I'm getting that this is an inner conflict. This is you fighting with yourself about making your authenticity the foundation for you to move forward. There might be some concern about how people outside of you will perceive you standing in your authenticity. You might fear that there will be aggression and tension from others. Just know that when we stand in our authenticity, that's basically putting your shields up. There may be tension, there may be aggression, but it's not going to affect you. You're in your authenticity. You almost repel things like that. You're not going to react. You're not going to respond. You're going to observe. That's what standing in your authenticity allows you to do, is observe, realize that that outside aggression and tension is not yours. It's not your problem. It's not something you have to deal with. These are just your fears regarding standing in your authenticity. Next up, we have Knight of Cups: charming and idealist, determined, tactful, and graceful, which is you. Air signs, that's going to be you. You stand in your authenticity. That is how the world is going to see you. That is the persona that the outside world is going to be met with. When you stand in your authenticity, you stand tall, you stand proud, you stand secure. Your authenticity is going to give you strength and security in a way that I don't think you've experienced as of late. And I'm not sure that you're going to expect it. But trust me when I tell you it's going to be there. Lastly, we have Knight of Wands: impulsive and immature, hot-tempered, rebellious and charming. All of the cards so far, air signs, have been related to you. This one is not. This is an outside force, an outside person. This may be what you're fearing here, is someone's going to come in hot and aggressive. But what I'm getting is, if they do, how you handle this is so different. I think you're expecting, if something comes from this full moon with an outside source, outside energy, this is how you think you're going to handle things. You imagine yourself feeling conflicted. You imagine yourself being combative and tense because of the aggression that comes from here. But that's not going to be the case, because you're standing strong in your authenticity. Your shields are up. You're repelling this. This is something that you're going to watch from the inside. It's like looking through a window is what I'm getting. You're almost going to be standing on the inside looking out the window at this situation, and you're just going to turn around and walk away like nothing ever happened. It's sort of like a minor car accident out in front of your house. Like, you look at it for a minute and you're like, oh, that sucks for that person. But then you go back to doing what you're doing. That's what this energy is. So whether it's actually a person or it's a situation that comes in that typically would be disruptive for you, but because you're standing in your authenticity, because you've done the healing, the growth, the work, the introspection, it's not going to be like that for you. You're going to look at it, you're going to observe it, and you're going to go back about your business, because this doesn't affect you, air signs. This is not about you. This is not something that is meant to disrupt your world. It's not something that you're meant to get involved in. It is just something that you are meant to be aware of, something you are meant to observe and go back to focusing what it is that you're focusing on. All right, air signs, our last set of cards is going to be, what action should you take during this full moon? First up, we have manifest. You're always manifesting, whether you're aware of it or not. Manifestation is based on your thoughts, and you're being asked to manifest consciously through positive thinking, so you'll attract into your life exactly what you're wanting. Next, we have pivot. Sometimes when things aren't falling into place after trying and trying, it's time to ask yourself if pivoting in some way would be a good idea so that your life can flow more easily and effortlessly. How can you pivot even just a little bit? And lastly, we have open up. You're being asked to open your heart to another, to let down your walls and trust that they want what's best for you. Your life will open up in wonderful ways when you decide to open up. I realize that these cards might point to somebody on the outside, but they're really all about you, air signs. You're being asked to more openly manifest. Ask for what you want. Talk about it on a regular basis. Visualize it. Like, don't be shy. I heard be aggressive, not in a negative way, but in like a cheerleader way, right? That BEAGGRESSIVE. Be aggressive like that. Be your own cheerleader. Go after what you want. Ask for it. Talk about it several times a day, every day at a minimum. Start to bring it into your reality. The pivoting and the opening up, both of these I'm hearing are in relation to you. There is a line of thinking that you have been steadfastly holding on to, and it's not working for you. It's not getting you where you want to be. It's not helping you get over a hump. It's not driving you down the road the way that you thought it would. Shift your thinking in relation, shift your perception in relation to this situation, whatever it is that's unique to you. You already know what I'm talking about. Shift your perception just the slightest, even if it's one aspect of the situation. Change how you're looking at it, shift how you're thinking about it, and it will open up the road for you to keep going. And open up, I'm getting this is in relation to you. Open your heart to you. Open your heart to possibilities. Don't keep trying to protect yourself. You may say that you're not, but if you are being honest with yourself, air signs, you are. You're trying to protect yourself from something. Therefore, you're not open to all of the possibilities that could come your way. The energy of this moon is asking you to be honest with yourself, be real, figure out what you need to work through to truly open yourself up to the possibilities that the universe wants to bring you. Okay, air signs, that's what I have for this full moon. I hope it resonated with you. Until next time.